Yeah, so when you are looking for a class, you can go to hsreplay.net. You go to the class win rates, you go to Arena, and you can see that Paladin is by far the best class. So we're going with Paladin. And we already have Hearth Arena running. So with Hearth Arena, you don't always take the highest rated card, but if they're more than 20 apart, you basically definitely take it. If they're like if they're within 10, it's usually a preference. 10 to 15, it's what you want. So Paladin, your hero power puts minions on the board, so Frostwolf can usually get pretty big. And Youthful is an underwhelming 2-drop, so we can start with the Frostwolf. Um, Clockwork is understated. Spitting Camel is terrible in this meta. And Scale Lord, it has some upside with giving Murloc's Divine Shield, and a 5 mana 5/6 is good. We'll go with that. Here you can see Shielded Minibot is just has a much higher tier score. In general, you want your decks to have like at least like minimum like 4 2-drops, 4 3-drops, and you usually want like 5 to 6-ish 1 and 2 drops total combined, at least. But like the minimum would be like 4. But yeah, still like it's basically like 20 apart. Early in the draft, you're not focusing on curve as much. You're just trying to get quality cards. These are close. Um, I prefer the 3 mana 3/4. I think for now. You don't want to have too many 5-drops, especially in this meta. So for me, it's yeah, like the tier score says, between Spellbreaker and Shattered Sun Cleric. You're on the board early a lot as Paladin, so I'll go with the Shattered Sun Cleric. Evasive Worm trumps most other cards. And if you have a lot of golden cards, it can sometimes take longer for Hearth Arena to read the cards. Um, Emperor Cobra is a little better, I think. These are all pretty close for me. Scores are close enough that you could take any of them. I'm not a fan of Emperor Cobra. It just because it dies in 1 hit and it's vulnerable. It's just I don't like 3 health, 3 drops that die to anything. I'm gonna take the Gnomish Inventor. It's understated, but it cycles itself. Your score is very different for Hippogriff. It lets you do something to the board and it's okay statted. Probably sound the bells here. The higher quality card than the other two. Between these two. Hippogriff is just a solid card. Because the stats are like, it's slightly below statted, but it'll let you kill off a pesky minion. Massive score difference. And Spellbreaker has a lot of utility. Again, just big. A lot of your picks when you're using Hearth Arena can be made for you just because the quality of the cards is so different. Cards that affect your opponent's board the turn you play them generally have higher value. We don't have any big minions. So I'm leaning towards Furious Etten. But Silverhand Knight is fine as well. These cards are very bad. So this doesn't fit our deck very well, but these cards are just so bad. You could take War Golem, but it would slow our deck down. Never set Ritualists. can create very strong swing turns. I really like it. One sec. And right now, sorry. Okay. Yeah, evasive just Conid is just better than the others. We do need to get some minions though. Like we're halfway through the, more than halfway through the draft. We need to get some better early game minions. We have some ways to buff this. It's actually pretty powerful once buffed. We have 3 cards that can buff it. I think we go for it. We're getting too many 4-drops. This is close. So I would normally... Would I take Sanctuary? Sanctuary is very powerful. We just really need 2 drops, and Shotbot is a very strong 2-drop. It's basically like Shielded Minibot, but not quite as good. Yeah. Hammer Wrath is nice, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 3-drops. Can use. We want 1 or 2 more. I could actually see any of these. Eating Murlocs can be fun. Are there enough of them though? I'm not sure there's enough of them. How many 4-drops do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like we really don't need another. Because like if we see a True Silver, we have to take that. This battle card, we don't have any 1-cost minions, so or Death Rattle, so that doesn't help us at all. This is better than Seal of Light. Probably Micro Machine. It's a bad 2-drop, but Novice Engineer is bad. Like you can keep Micro Machine in your starting hand. You can't keep Novice Engineer in your starting hand. Shotbot, really good for our deck here. I think it's the Ghastly Charger. The Rush, Divine Shield is very powerful. Spider Tank isn't terrible though. Bone Wraith is too good. True Silver. Basically an auto pick. I almost always take the first 3 True Silvers. I'm not a big fan of Joe Dealer. You could take it if you wanted to be more aggressive. Gonna go with the Frost Elemental. I don't think this deck would be too... So once you draft, this usually pops up for Hearth Arena. You can get an idea of the quality of the cards in your deck by going to deck basics and scrolling down to the deck tier score. This doesn't take into account any of the synergies though. This is just based on the quality of the decks. Anything over 70 is usually pretty good. So our deck isn't great. We've got like 1 spell. 2 spells, which is not a lot of spells. But I think this deck can do okay. The goal is probably 7 wins with this deck.
Arthas versus Uther. I will fight with honor for Lordaeron.
So our mulligan, you want stuff to... Well, going second, you can keep stuff to do on turn 4. If these were premium 4-drops, you could consider keeping them. True Silver is premium, so we're keeping it. And you basically always keep at least 1 2-drop if you have the option. Mostly you're mulliganing for 2s and 3s. If you're going second, you can keep a 4. I might... If I had a 2-drop, I would probably keep the True Silver going first. Because it's one of the most powerful cards in the deck.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah. Layer 2 drop. If we don't... So... A big part of using the coin is you want to be able to do something the next... Unless you're, like, insanely desperate, you want to think about what your next turn will be. So, unless I draw a 4-drop here, I probably won't coin True Silver Champ. Although there is the option to do double Sound the Bells. So, maybe I will.
Reporting for duty.
Okay, we can just do double Sound the Bells on that next turn. It's not great, but you get the value trade here. A lot of Arena is about controlling the board, and against a Paladin, you can get punished easily by leaving minions on the board. Because they can play cards like Blessing of Kings and just wipe you out. And this meta is more about tempo than it is about value. So it's not like if it was a value meta, it would be more about trying to get a hero power off every turn. But we want minions on the board to control the board.
Reporting for duty.
We got a Bone Wraith, so that's better than Sound the Bells. We can just hold on to the Sound the Bells for later. We want to hold on to our weapon. Like, pushing 2 face damage isn't valuable to us. Keeping this minion alive is fine. It's protected. I'm gonna value trade and kill it with my weapon and then play the most powerful minion I can. So this puts the most amount of stats on the board that I can for this turn. It's not always about that, gain the most power on the board, but it was pretty clean trades there. We'll probably double trade into this. So our options are trading in here. We could just freeze it if we wanted to. That would be vulnerable to Living Dragon Breath, so we probably just want to kill it. And then it would be between like Ogre Brute Hero Power, Hippogriff Hero Power. I think I'm just gonna Frost Elemental his face. Which, it's kind of a waste of the Battle Cry, because there's no 5-attack weapon. But it's just mostly the most power we can get on the board right now. And I didn't want to triple Sound the Bells this minion because of cards like Subdue and Eldor Peacekeeper that Paladin has access to, where you can get punished for going all in on one minion. And there were cards like Hex and Polymorph as well. I want to push damage while keeping going. So this meta, there is a card called Twin Tyrant that will do 4 damage to 2 minions, and it is very powerful. And when you have an opportunity to play around it, you need to do so. So I'm trying to keep these 2 minions above 4 health. So it's an underwhelming Sound the Bells, but he's at 18. We have 13 on board with Blessing of Kings in hand, so we're in very good shape right now. We can't kill him next turn, but coming back will be very difficult for him.
I wonder. I must move quickly.
Usually a good sign if they're not roping all game and then you get in a good position and they seem like they don't know what to do. I think I'm just gonna play the taunt and attack his face. Because, very unlikely for him to be able to clear the board here.
YouTube viewers beware. This guy is a scam and will not help you get better. I lost all my gold listening to these tips.
Thank you for the $5, Juder. He'll be able to clear it, the Draconid, but I mean, yeah, he's just suiciding in. It was not very nice, Druder. And thank you for the $5. Glad you enjoy, and thank you for the support. So yeah, that game was a very standard game, I would say, especially at 0-0.
Arthas versus Jaina. You asked for it. For Lordaeron.
And yeah, I'm sorry, chat. I will be a little less interactive while I'm trying to do this. I'll do it for 2 more games, probably. Going first, you usually want a 2 and a 3 drop. For 3 drops, you're looking for a 3-4 usually, or a 4-4. In this meta, and for 3 drops, 3-2 is okay. I think normally 2-3s are better though. Or 2-2s with Divine Shield or Reborn are also very good. So we basically have a perfect curve going right now. Okay, the shot bot. It'll depend on the state of the board whether we play True Silver or not. This is growing fast. So we're always gonna trade. He gets this value trade. So we're gonna have to decide what we do about that. Okay, he just played Arcane Amplifier, which makes his hero power do 2 extra damage, which is like devastating. It's very powerful. So we need to just do, if we have a way to kill it, we need to kill it. And we have a way to kill it. So like, even if it sets us back and you have to play off curve, like if I had to play a 3-mana weapon to kill that, I'd do it. Because it needed to die. You get so much value from... The mage gets so much value with the 3-mana hero power that it makes it too hard to get back on the board. Here we can play... We want... The game is about controlling the board. So our only play where we can do that and have him have no board was Ghastly Charger and then swing in. So we're gonna do that. We're farther behind this meta, or this game. So I could see us losing it from this spot. The what was it? The Arcane Amplifier set us back a little. We had to use our weapon very inefficiently. Because of the Jungle Panther, it's either Ogre Brute Shattered Sun Cleric or Wrathguard Micro Machine. I think it's hard for him to get through the Wrathguard, or the Bone Wraith Micro Machine. So I'm gonna go with that. I could just attack into it. I think I will. Because the trades for him will be similarly awkward. Seems fancy, but it's not that fancy for him. Gonna play Evasive Draconid on the left side. This card is very difficult for Mage to deal with. The only way they deal with it cleanly is a card called Rolling Fireball, if it has 1 health next to it. I want to value trade this. He gets to go in there, but then his hero power does 3 damage. So... Oh, he actually could get the Rolling Fireball then. So that could be messy. If he trades in the Jungle Panther and the Stranglethorn Tiger into this, I think we're okay with that. So I think I'm just gonna get rid of the Arcane Amplifier. And play our biggest minion. But keeping this as healthy as possible. If he has a Flame Strike, it's okay. Like... Okay. Fireball. Evasive cards are very strong against Mage in general. Okay. Because he can't ping it. He's low on cards, which is very good for us. We're gonna play our strongest card and trade into the more powerful minion. And just play the minion that can't trade into. Okay. Did that preemptively. So my thinking for this game is that I'm gonna start shipping all my damage face. because I can do 9, like, and then just play everything on the board and freeze this minion. Because sometimes in Arena, you get to a point where, like, winning the board, like, you trade and fight for the board most of the game, and then eventually there's a point where, like, if both of these go face, he's at 11, and then I play everything, and it's just too difficult for them to stop the damage coming in unless he top decks Blizzard or Flame Strike, which is rare. Gonna start attacking with this and hope it goes face, because it has a 50% chance to miss. It didn't. So now he's at 11, and we just play everything out and freeze the minion that can kill this. And hope, like, so if this top deck is bad, we win. If it's incredible for the situation, we lose, but it's one card. If he had like 3 cards in his hand, we don't do that play. So we start with this to see if we kill him. We don't. So, let's see.
For the light.
I'll get him to 4 and then kill this. There's no Bone Mare, so leaving 1 minion up isn't a big deal. With Mage. With Paladin, you can do stuff like Pharaoh's Blessing, potentially, that you want to consider. Another good game.
Arthas versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
For Lordaeron.
We're going first. So, if we were going second, I would keep Bone Wraith. But we really wanted 2 or at least a 3-drop. So I'm going to throw everything away. We got a 2-drop. So, yeah. It helps you so much to not... Because you can just lose the game sometimes when your opponent curves out. And it just helps to prevent that. We're pretty desperate for some draws. Like, there's a chance that we just play Sound the Bells on this next turn if he doesn't kill it right away. Yeah, I'm just gonna do 1 Sound the Bells, and the next turn we can do double Angler, which we could either go into Skill Lord or Frostwolf Warlord or Gas Charger. It's inefficient, but and we're gonna trade into this one. We don't really care about potentially taking 3 face damage, but we don't want him to be able to just play a mech and then kill this off. Okay, so he's not, or is he developing something? I hope not. Okay. So we could play a little safe and with the Hippogriff. I want to try and be a little greedy and go with a double Angler play. Worst case scenario, most likely, is he clears the board and develops a 2-drop. I think we're in a situation where it's okay to do this. Because we have 2 cards that could be good. It's not a ton of value, but I feel like it's enough. Okay, he's probably going to trade in ping. So... It's not spectacular, but it's something. It may have been too cute, but I think it was fine. It was a little cute though. Hippogriff would have been the safer play. See. So we could play Ghastly Charger and go in and then clean up the second half. Which I think is a fine play.
Which path?
I want to try freezing it though. And going fit. Because Ghastly Charger should still be there next turn. He's only on 6 mana. Even if he plays Living Dragon Breath, which will unfreeze it, at best he could kill this. He's going wide. Biggest question is if I'm worried about Flame Strike. We're hero powering no matter what. It's either a 7/7 or a Divine Shield charge. I'm gonna play the Frostwolf Warlord. This, I'm gonna try and play a little around Flame Strike by doing this trade. That makes Flame Strike slightly more palatable. It'll still be miserable. He has an Arcane Missiles still from the Violet spell wing. Probably the best 2-drop you can get. Okay, he doesn't have a dragon, which is very good. Okay. I think we just play it safe for now. And clear the board with some weak minions. Okay, so we can't do anything about that. So I'm leaning towards just going face the best we can. Next turn we can just dump everything and keep trying to go face. If we ever get True Silver, we'd be in really good shape. This will hurt us a lot. We can take care of it with the Ghastly Charger next turn. The Arcane Missiles miss this. His face will be in pretty bad shape. Got it. But yeah, this has to die. I still think we're on the face plan. We're just playing our strongest minions. He has to ping this to kill it. So that means he won't be able to ping this. I'll play this one. It's pretty irrelevant. They're almost the same thing.
A simple speck.
It's just a 4/4. It has a battle cry that wouldn't affect him anyway. Theory of freeze. Crossbolt, okay. He's running low on stuff, but that's good. We can see what we get. A-wing. We're always attacking face with this. You know, it lets him ping it. Gonna hero power. Because it's kind of in an attrition battle right now. Thinking maybe I should have bumped this minion there. But yeah, because we were going to be able to use all our mana the next turn, is why I hero powered last turn. Because there's no card in our deck that we can't play with our hero power. If this gives them dragons, we lose. We lost. And it heals them when we were playing aggressive. So this is one of the hardest parts about playing Arena right now. Is that this game is over and it was completely unwinnable. There were a lot of other lines we can take, but this card is very powerful. But there's still a lot to enjoy about Arena. So it's best when you lose to this to just like accept that it's gonna happen. Like sometimes people like get pocket aces against you in poker, and it's like you don't let that affect you for the rest of the night, or you're gonna go broke. So, but yeah, this game is over, and I think we played well. Good night, John. I mean, we did play aggressive.
Arthas versus Gul'dan.
We could have played for a little bit more value, potentially. This will probably be the last game of the tutorial-ish thing I'm doing. So going coin 3/4 into Shattered Sunclare can be good. So I'll keep these and toss the other two. Nothing we can do here. But again, you might notice I'm focusing on when I'm thinking about doing a turn with the coin. I'm always considering what my next turn will be before I ever do it. Because like sometimes people will coin out a 3-drop and then they hero power, and that's just awful. So let's see. Trying to think if there's a way that I can silence this where he won't trade it off, but I don't think there's a world where that happens.
What would Uther do?
cleanse the Sunwell.
This is incredibly greedy, but I'm going to go face. This might not make it into the video if it backfires. But I really want to silence this thing. Okay, it's not happening. Okay, so these trades were... We basically got 4 face damage in, and he did the trades he was going to do anyway. So it worked out completely normally. It didn't backfire. It's pretty close between... See, so that's buff. Do I want the weapon? He can't use a spell on this. But yeah, like he has 2 Dread Infernals in his hand right now, so we'll have to deal with those. So we have to trade this off. Dread Infernals are going to be super annoying.
Mind if I roll need?
Just me and Mr. Fight.
I want to make it difficult for him to kill this. He does this trade in Dread Infernals, it's not great for him. You do need to pay attention to the other plays he can do, but you always have to pay attention to the Dread Infernal play.
So many possibilities.
Right now, because we know, like, it doesn't show that those are Dread Infernals, but they are, basically. Well, we know they are. Okay, so then could be good. It's vulnerable to Siphon Soul though. I think I like True Silver because he can only do 5 damage to this, which means Dread Inferno won't kill it. Then I can also drop 3-4. Get another 6 damage on his face. Yeah, face damage on Warlock is very valuable because it shuts off their hero power. Once you get them low enough, they can't tap anymore. Basically. Might have another. That's pretty sure that's a twisting another. Or what? Can get him to 1. We're always silencing that. How much damage is that? He would need 5 damage to kill me. I think we just go for it, and if we get a draw, we get a draw. But most cards that damage me also damage him other than... If he has a Soulfire, it's a draw. Say this. Gonna play a lot of smaller minions. Because we only need 1 damage. He can't play the Dread Infernals. And this way he dies if he has Siphon Soul. Like, if we just played the Furious Etten and a 2-2 and a 1-1, he would have another turn through Siphon Soul. And we win. Alright. That'll be it for this short educational section. I hope you guys enjoyed. But yeah. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll consider doing more in the future.